Hello there. I'm going to be going for the Nightmare Void Rift with epics again, but on a different rotation this time. I have done some quick testing to see what actually would work for this rotation, at least for the first fight. And yeah, let's go right on ahead with it. Basic concept is that since it's... Well, actually, you could probably get this done if you're running... if you have more AoE options and epics that are actually leveled, you may have some better alternatives than what I'm currently doing. But I'm mainly just using Decimus and Atrox to block the explosion bugs. Because really, that's the one hindrance here. So, the first one, we don't really care. The singular bugs are fairly easy to deal with. We'll take some damage, but for the most part, we should be able to survive. It gets a bit more tricky when they start sending them 2 by 2, and that's when Atrox and Decimus come into play a bit more. But for now, we can kind of just ignore this, drop a Greed here to deal with this upcoming wave of tanks. Slam down an Iona right there. And now both sides are mostly covered DPS-wise. And so we wait. I'm not even really sure if her ult is actually mandatory here. Probably best to save it for a little bit later. And here, since these bugs are coming, we're going to drop a Decimus right there. Sorry, an Atrox right there. A Decimus right over here. And have one bug just die on Atrox over there. 2 on Decimus. Recall Decimus because we can. And move on to the next phase. Well, waves. Whichever. Here the ult is somewhat more relevant to get this guy down a little bit quicker, because they do some damage, especially if you're... This week doesn't seem to be the case, but on certain rotations and certain weeks, they will be getting a damage buff, and that generally prickles a bit. So same here, we drop an Atrox, here we drop a Decimus, explosion, only one exploded on that side. And we will drop... Chances are Greed will struggle the most to kill that singular unit. So they'll drop Lunaria on that side. And she died because I didn't wait until the end of the rocks, I guess? I'm honestly not sure what she died to, but definitely died to something. Point is, she's not really needed. It's just an additional comfort, really. Your ult should mostly just take care of things. And then, well, the other side is kind of just slacking here, so we'll toss down an Atrox to deal some additional damage. Toss down a Lunaria. Oh, it was probably the bomb, actually, that got her. I placed her too soon before the bomb exploded. And there we go.
This is how balance is maintained.
Good old Decimus cheese. Really, for most of Void Rift, you can use a lot of somewhat subpar units. Yeah. So considering I won't be able to just cheese this with Lords and more HP, I don't think those will serve any purpose. I think the tanks will need a bonus. And I already have 2 tanks, so I don't see myself needing a third, so there's no point in Isolde, and I will be needing Cleanse. For the most part, I think we should be fine with this. I think. Need everyone stacked the same place to cleanse, so we'll leave these back tiles free for our DPS. Really only works for one of the 2, but nonetheless, we're gonna go with this. Lunaria should be able to cover this side. It may take a while, but... Oh no, never mind. Lunaria does great damage. Single target at least. Probably want to mid Dan to start getting the cleanses out. Drop. I forgot her name. The Piercer tank. Just gonna call her the Piercer tank. Drop a Vortex. Ideally, we would have wanted the cleanse to be up by now, but I took a while to actually place Medan, so oh well. Yeah, let's place Aneona just to get her stuff moving here. And Vortex is down. That's not great. Again, I'm not too worried here. We should be mostly fine. Vortex should have time to come back. I'm just slightly concerned for... yeah, here we go. Lunaria on this phase. That's a bit of a drag. Let's cleanse everyone. Not sure why Vortex died, really. We are going to place a Rourke here. We're going to drop Vortex. Vortex just immediately dies, huh? Wow. I think he's not fully geared. There's no way otherwise that he would die this quickly. Let's drop a Lunaria here because that side really needs the help. There we go. That side's now back under control again. Greed just got insta-wiped, but that kind of makes sense. I think I'm just going to drop Vortex back here so he stops dying. And at least we have him readily available. That was probably the best call, actually, because none of these guys can actually reach that far in front. So I should have just plopped him back here. He would have managed to carry the healing peacefully from where he was. And now we just wait for Inona to kill this guy, and that's roughly the whole run. So definitely you would want to place Vortex back there, or at least some form of healer. Hollow would honestly probably be the better option if you're, again, lacking in ranged magic damage. I mean, honestly, I'll probably just throw Iona in here. And a Rourke. Where's Iona? There she is. Do I have Gear on Maul? Ah. Any weapon. There we go. He'll be fine. Let's drop, say, well, Rourke, actually. Doesn't really serve a purpose here. But these, I don't even know what to call these phases, but they're essentially worthless. There is never any real challenge to them. They mostly kind of just clear themselves. So, probably go with whatever her name is. I keep on forgetting there. Deimos across, a hollow right there. Fast forward and just kind of auto ult and ignore this whole thing. And I will see you guys in about 3 minutes. Probably a lot less than that.
awaits. Go, my babies. Go, my big torment.
I still just utterly fail to understand why these phases even exist in Void Rift. They are not a DPS check, not a strategy check. They're just they're nothing. Tossing any units at them will just clear them, and they're boring as all hell. But they give you gold, I guess, as if we needed gold. How many stages do we have left here? Ooh. Alright, let's go for this one. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. We're probably gonna want... I'm not gonna be able to do my usual thing here. Just kind of ignore everything. We're gonna want fighters. We're gonna want single target damage for Calypso. Alright, hold on. So, single target damage we can get with some Piercers and some Northerners. Fighters, we have Rourke at the top there. We should probably be fine. We are going to need our tanks. I think the ones that are somewhat in question are... Do we need this many healers? Probably not. Then it just falls on the question of how many fighters do we actually want here. Idril probably needs some gear. Who do we have that is not used by any of the people I'm currently using? That's used. GVG Val. There we go. And just give her an Idril's Gaze. I don't think he has any gear either. That's just terrible gear. Who do we have that? You know what? I have some random sets somewhere around here. This one is partially used. This one is partially used. There we go. Fractured set. Should be roughly fine with that. I'm missing a second fighter to hold the top lanes. So... drop Euna and toss in, say, a Greed? Greed should manage to sustain himself up there. Again, back to the gearing problem. GVG Sargak, there we go. Did I take someone... Did I take Idril's gear off? No. Okay, we're good. Alright, let's try this and see what happens. Really not sure this is going to work out, but... Alright, because we can place, yeah, a fighter there and a fighter there. But the first thing to deal with is going to be those flyers. So we'll use a maul for them. That seems like overkill. How about, instead of doing that, you just place an Idril. And then just place our maul. And place our vortex. Happens if I do this. Is Idril going to refocus on the flyer? Theoretically, she should. Oh, that's bad. Probably shouldn't have ulted there. Because she's just doing whatever the heck she wants. Great. And so we're stuck with the Calypso, who managed to summon a Seal Stone, which is actually kind of bad. I think Calypso does attack the last target that we actually did attack. Let's try to nuke both of those at the same time here. Come on, Idril. You're gonna pop that shield? There we go, okay. Top lane, we can place our Wrath there. We are definitely gonna need more damage on this side. Maul was not enough, not even close.
Unleashing the mysteries of nature.
Tell them my daggers feet die by my hand.
Drop a Rourke up there. Drop an Olag here. Pop Rourke's ult so he deals with those waves quicker, and then, okay, we got rid of Calypso. I think this can work out. And I'm not even sure we need that second tank. So you can probably replace that with some more damage for just the fight in general. Is he gonna be? Is Rourke gonna be okay up there? Rourke, buddy. Rourke. Boy. Wrath died too. Awesome. This is not looking good. So maybe I should have just gone with my usual strategy.
The light of the moon leaves us.
Yeah, alright. Let's drop those. What a great serve of purpose.
No one makes a fool of time.
Esme, maybe? I feel like Esme would arguably have a much better chance of actually being useful here. I don't think Maul really served a purpose, so let's go with Esme and Iona. Let's just swap directly to Maul's gear. There you are, buddy. She'll probably just go with the other Idril's gaze. And Iona should already be geared. Perfect. Let's go with this and see what happens. Idril should probably manage this side. Esme should manage this side. Again, Vortex should be able to manage all of this. We have AoE on the right side with Esme somewhat. I'm not sure who I should actually toss in here. We're just gonna make... Okay, we're gonna make Iona face upwards.
Must be revered. I'm on them.
Once more, we have a Seal Stone issue.
Make it my redemption.
Unleashing the mysteries.
Managed to get that right in the nick of time. Okay. So this is under control. Again, here, virtually any legendary that is capable of reducing... Oh, sorry, not reducing damage, but any legendary that is capable of actually doing some AoE in a substantial manner will probably be better than what I threw at this. But, hey, right? I'm messing around with epics, bear with me here. I'm assuming we're going to want to do this. Rourke is a supporting role there. Idril is going to deal with her side a bit before anything else happens. Esme ult. Idril ult. Start clearing stuff here. Iona ult because they're going to pop out very soon. Looks like we're on the right track of having something functional here. We have a bunch of ults we can pop if ever we need more Idril damage. The only real question I kind of have here is what happens with these flyers that will be coming down? And will this still allow us to handle them in a reasonable manner? They start stacking up quick. We're gonna need to Iona ult, Esme ult. Should help Idril clean up quite a bit. We're gonna Rourke ult as well. We're gonna Idril ult. She should get some kills in, which should extend her ult duration for when this flying fish comes down. Vortex ult to boost Idril's damage. Yeah, there's a fish right there that's getting a little bit too close. Idril, do you want to take care of that? There we go. Okay, so far so good. We're getting very close to the end here. The only question is, can we kill everything before this fish comes down? It does look like we can, so I'm not too concerned about the rest of the run here. Rourke is peacefully tanking that damage. And the question is if we can get that fish right there dead. That's going to be the one blocking point. Esme ult. Come on. Alright, we're good to go. And I believe that that's a clear. Right? Nothing else waiting to sneak in here? We're missing 2 units. Ah, okay. So yeah. Yeah. This is very tight. There's probably better ways to do this. You can probably get away with having Lunaria facing upwards. Possibly replacing Rourke with a AoE / crowd control champion that can help a little bit more on both sides. But every time I've tried that fighter strategy across the on the other side of the riverbank there, it's just been a disaster. Okay. So here we need to keep this lane under control. That's not really negotiable. We will need one fighter that can hold his ground here. We can probably make a healer share covering this fighter and covering a tank here. We need one person to take down the first version of Calypso, one person to take down the second version of Calypso. Idril and Lunaria can probably do that, and then the third version of Calypso, which will also need to be handled. So, we only need one tank. 2 hours later. Oh my god. Few things have made me feel as newish as this run. This is a disaster. I'm just gonna hold out on Liam for maybe one of the very last placements. Maybe it'll actually solve my ridiculous problem, and by problem I mean incoherence of trying to use Liam in this. Esme ult. do not place Olag yet. Place Rourke. This just made it worse. This is fine. I see no problem with this. Right? Right? What could possibly go wrong?
It's time they make it my. Do we really need anyone else?
This is fun. This is great. It's okay. One seal stone is manageable. Which then just kind of makes Liam pointless, really. Should have a vortex instead. And just accept that I will lose that first
We must pull back.
soul stone, but whatever. We can make this work.
Try me.
Theoretically. Yeah. Idril will get that down. Rourke will get some damage in here. Lunaria will absolutely shred her. Liam is essentially worthless for now. Just gonna use Idril's ult to get some more damage in. We're roughly at the same point we were before, honestly. Roughly 40% by the time Calypso makes it to the tank, except this time she's actually focusing the tank because I placed things correctly and I stopped just doing random stuff. Tank is taking a bit of damage, but that's fine. Rourke is a Chad, so he will carry. Just taking a bit of time here. Are you okay there in there, Gluttony? Please don't die. Please don't die. There we go. Okay, and now it's just Calypso left, and with this much time left, and this many units, we're basically in the clear. Holy crap, that was a disgrace.
I'm getting thirsty.
This is why I should probably actually test these things before starting them, but hey, at the same time, you know, you get to see me fail a whole bunch. Anywho, yeah, rough run over of the gear, which you've probably mostly seen. As usual, this is not gear that is realistically attainable by the time you're first trying to clear Nightmare Void Rift, but it's, as usual, just to kind of go over the base mechanics and have me actually deal with a bit of a challenge on Nightmare Void Rift without using just a bunch of broken legendaries. The gear is mostly endgame gear. It's Soulbound Arcana, it's Infernal Roar, it's a bunch of good stuff that you may have one or two sets of, which will be somewhat mediocre, but it's not going to be everything that I have been using in this. The tanks are also in some pretty decent Guardian gear. Overall, this is endgame gear, just slapped on a bunch of crummy champions. So something to keep in mind. The main concept is really just to go over the mechanics of this, and to try to use champions that do not use this faction bonus to show just a different approach in general. Sorry for the length of this. Cheers, and have a nice one.